So hey guys, welcome to the day 5 of the TNQT review session, and I hope everyone are doing good. Firstly, I'd like to confirm that am I audible to everyone? If I am audible, please respond as audible in the chat section, please. Cool guys. So I hope some of you have already given the exams, or yeah, some might be attending this stream because your exam might be due. But how was your experience? I can get any feedback about how are the exams and did it go smoothly before starting the session. We'll begin the session in 1 or 2 minutes. So I can get mixed reviews here. Someone is saying the exam is good and it was lengthy. Yeah, I agree. The pandemic has hit hard and it's kind of difficult to concentrate and everything. But yeah, I hope after this session, you or your friends, they might be benefited by the session, and I hope they do well. Anyways, so let's begin the session, guys. So who are we? So we are a company with a history of 14 years, and we help students to realize their dreams. So if you're a student in the final year waiting for the placements and hoping to get placed in one of the companies out there, we help you to realize your dreams and get your first job. That is what we do. And a brief introduction about myself. My name is Prashant. I'm a master trainer, and I'm also a full stack JavaScript developer with expertise in Python and Amazon Web Services. So guys, if you haven't heard of our Telegram channel or if you haven't joined our Telegram channel, please do the same. Here is the link. This link will be posted in the chat section and also will be there in the description section. So on joining our Telegram group, you will get regular updates about your placements and the upcoming sessions of TNQT. Will be a very informative and a lively group. Please go ahead and join. Today we'll start the review session for today. And as usual, the first section would be the programming logic. So there are two sections for this. First one is the programming logic and the other one would be the coding section. Programming logic would consist of questions which are kind of MCQ based and say fill in the blanks type questions which you can solve pretty easily, but the challenge comes in the coding section. So let's start with a review. So here is your first question for today. So when we compose a binary tree through the given pre-order sequence, what will be the left child of 6? So pre-order sequence, you might be knowing it. What will be the left child of 6? Here is 6. And if you didn't know, pre-order sequence is nothing but root, left subtree and the right subtree. So this is the sequence. So obviously the first element would be the root here. So can I get some answers? I'm getting some answers. I'll give you a hint. Consider 6 as a root of a subtree. What will be the left child of 6? So here is one of the hint and here is another hint. Root is 6 and what is the left child? Left child is 5. 5 is the answer. So here you go, 5 will be the answer. So, this is kind of a tricky question. There might be many possibilities. Obviously, you cannot draw the whole in order sequence. You cannot draw the whole tree given this pre-order sequence. Obviously, you can't. So what we do is we kind of assume certain things. Say, let's assume that 6 is one of the root of the subtree. So 6 will have a left child because it is given in the question itself. So 5 will be obviously the child of 6. So that is as simple as that. So 5. Okay, cool. Let's move on to the next question. So here is one of the famous types of questions. You might get these sorts of questions almost everywhere. Even in apart from TCS, you might get these questions in other types of exams also, interview question. So here is given an infix or a postfix. Here, luckily they have given both. So we need to identify the prefix expression. Here are 4 of your choices. So firstly, let me give an introduction to prefix and postfix and infix. Say if you have A and an operator, some random operator, and B, this is known as infix expression. So if you have A, B, mind you, A and B are operands, and this is the operator. It can be plus, minus, star, or a slash, anything. So A, B, the operands, and the operator coming after it. This is nothing but the postfix expression. Similarly, the operator here and then the operands. This will be the prefix expressions. Okay. So let me go to the next slides and quickly glance you through the algorithm. So this is the infix to postfix or prefix algorithm. So this algorithm is quite complex. You might have already studied this in your data structures class, but that is the difference between converting from infix to prefix and infix to postfix. It's quite subtle actually. Here certain text has been marked in the red. Those are applicable only for infix to prefix. So infix to postfix, infix to postfix is straightforward, simple. You'll get you pass the input to a function, you'll get the output. But the same code has to be modified slight a bit. So like you have to reverse the input expression, and then after you get the results, you have to reverse it again. So these two things are important. So with that, let's get to the code. So as I told, here we have to convert infix to prefix. So we have the infix expression. Let us convert it to prefix. So to convert it to infix to prefix, first you have to reverse the input expression. So this input expression was this p minus q blah blah blah. Here we have reversed it. Here you can see p minus q, and we have reversed the parenthesis also. We have totally reversed it, isn't it? So let's consider a stack now. Apologies for my bad handwriting. This has always been like this. So yeah, so let's scan the first. So let's scan the input characters one by one. The first character is Z. It's an operand. So we'll print it as it is according to the algorithm. I hope you're familiar with the algorithm. At this stage, you should be familiar with these algorithms. So conversion of infix to prefix and vice versa, and also for postfix. So yeah, input scan Z and let it be as it is. And the next expression will be plus. So plus is an operator. So what you do is you push it inside the stack. The stack is empty for now. You push it inside the stack. And then you come to y. Y is an operand. You output it. And then you come to star. And now is where this table comes into picture. So star, what is the precedence of star of the stack? The star is not inside the stack, it is off the stack. What is the precedence of star? It is 2, isn't it? So what is the precedence of plus inside the stack? It is 1. So 2 is greater than 1. So that is the reason when the expression which is off the stack has higher precedence than the operator inside the stack, then what we do is we push it. So we push the star inside the stack. So this is the stack, we push it inside the star because star outside has higher precedence than the plus inside according to this table. All right, cool. And then we have the parenthesis. So parenthesis, as you can see in points 4 and 5, there are fixed rules for this. Just push it inside the stack. So opening parenthesis, push it inside the stack. Okay. And then we have x. X is an operand. Just print it out. And then we have minus. So what is the precedence of minus of the stack? It is 1. Okay. Now we compare. So this is the top. Okay. That is very important. Top of the stack. So the star minus has a precedence of 1. And what is the element in the top of the stack? It is this parenthesis, opening parenthesis. What is the precedence of it? It is 0. So 1 is greater than 0. As I told, if 1 is greater than 0, then push it inside the stack. Push the minus inside the stack. And then we have W. We come to W. It's an operand. So just print it out. So no need to do the whole problem. Now we have come to a stage wherein we can look at the options and then we can decide which is the answer. Let us go back to the question now. So here you see, the last step is, after you get the answer, you have to reverse it. Say we got the partial answer, and here there might be many other things. Later you perform some more operations and you pop off everything off the stack and all those things. So after you get this answer, as we saw in the algorithm, this is infix to prefix. So we have to reverse it. So this answer will look like something like this: W, X, Y, Z. This would be the final answer. We don't know this, but we know the last 4 letters will be W, X, Y, Z. So we'll compare it with the options. So the only option where the last 4 letters are W, X, Y, Z is option C. So this is the right answer. So guys, let that sink in. I'll just go to the algorithm slide. If you don't know about the algorithm, please go through it again and again. You can refer your data structures textbook also for this. If you have any doubts with regards to infix, prefix, and postfix expressions, please put it in the chat. So this is very, very important, guys, not only for TNQT, but also for other exams. Okay, so that is that. And I hope everything is clear. Then it's clear. Let's move to the next question. So this is a simple question. You might expect a lot of simple questions and medium level questions in TCS, but here we have dispersed everything randomly so that the audience can be lively. So this is a very simple question, the basics in the C programming. So which of the following is not a logical operator? Which of the following is not a logical operator? So here we have, this is the not, this is the logical not. This is the logical and. This is the logical or, and this is the bitwise operator, bitwise and operator. So this is the right answer. So ampersand and a single slash, these are bitwise operator. So you have to bear these in mind. Okay. Yeah. This is valid in C and Java. Any doubts, guys? If any doubt is there, please put it in the chat. Let's move on to the next question. So this is a question from your DBMS subject. I hope you have studied DBMS in your 3rd year, database management. So the data modeling phase consists of which of the following? So data modeling phase is a phase wherein you make sense out of your data. Say you really can't coding the SQL tables right from the start, isn't it? So you need to have some relationships among the data, and you need to you need to put out that relationships. What is the relationship between one data entity and other data entity, and what is the type of the relationship? All those things have to be decided beforehand. This is called the data modeling and data modeling phase, and it has many sub phases. So Which out of these is a which of the out of these will ring a bell when you think of data modeling? So one more trick to answer these type of questions is elimination. Let's start from the end. Okay, total cost of ownership. So this is not related to tech or something. This is not related to computer science. This is related to something like a business kind of a thing. So this option is eliminated. So creation of big data analysis model. This seems good, but let's hold it on. Creation of infographics. This is again not related to the typical software engineer. We have these two answers. Okay. So, anyways, you might have studied the BVMS, so you have to be aware that the A is the right answer. Okay. So, data modeling phase, you have to be very aware of those things. It might be asked in your interview also. The conceptual data modeling, logical data modeling, physical data modeling. These are the three phases. Out of that, logical is the second one, and we have selected it as the right answer. Okay, guys, cool. So are you guys able to follow with me? You are able to follow me, please acknowledge in the chat until now. Okay. Cool. Okay. So let's go to the next question. What will be the output of the following given program? Here are your four options. What will be the output of the given program? Let me see some response in the chat. What would be the output of the given program? So let us get into this. So we have a simple C program, a void main, and we are creating a 2D array of 10 cross 10. 10 cross 10 matrix, you can assume. So, this syntax this string is stored as a 2D matrix. So that is how it happens in C. So array of strings definitely has to be stored in a 2D array of strings. Okay, we have say key ALLOS and similarly hellos and fellows over here, and we will print the first row. First row is nothing but this one, 0 indexed. Okay, you might think that hellos is the right answer, but beware. Here, one important thing is not there. That is semicolons. The semicolon is not there. You might be eager to select hellos, but no, semicolon is missing. So it will be compile time error. Option C would be the right answer. Okay, guys, cool. Let's move on to the next question now. So this question tests your abilities and skills in object-oriented programming. You have a simple Java program where a class car is there and a class Mercedes is a subclass of car, and there is a class Benz which extends Mercedes. And then you have your regular public static void main. You'll create an instance of Benz, which is a grandchild of car and a child of Mercedes, and then you'll call the method show. So what would be printed? It's an instance of Benz, or obj is an instance of Benz, and show will be called. So what would be the answer, guys? Please respond in the chat. Then we get some answers. Please be proactive. So here is the concept where overriding comes. Okay. So here you can see there is a class car and there is a class show which is common. So this is nothing but method overriding. Method overriding. Okay. Here this is an empty class. It doesn't. Here you are not overriding or introducing any new variables or methods over here, but it extends from Mercedes. So whenever you call object.show, it looks into this class. There is nothing here, so there's nothing here, so we'll go to the parent class, that is Mercedes. So Mercedes has implemented a method of show, so it has printed it is Mercedes. So this would be the right answer, option C. Cool guys, yeah, most of you, some of you have answered that right, option is C. Cool, let us move on to the next question. So what would be the output of the following given program? So here again you can see simple Java class and a method. Here we are having a try catch and we have an array which we are iterating through. So what would be the answer over here? So in the first iteration, ARR I plus 1 will be printed, that is 25. Here I mean, we are considering the loop here. This is where the logic resides. And in the second iteration, we are we are in the second iteration, I plus 1, that is 2. This one will be printed 252. And in the third iteration, I plus 1 will point to this 6. Will be printed 2526. Now in the fourth iteration, so ARR.length is 4. So it will go up to 0, 1, 2, 3. So we are at 3 here. What is 3 plus 1? 3 plus 1 is 4. Do we have an ARR of 4? We don't have an ARR of 4. So what will be the answer now? Will it execute or will it throw an exception? It will throw an exception. So 2526 has already been printed. Then inside exception will be printed. Because this is not there, array index out of bounds exception. The exception throw. So yeah, not so directly this won't be. One thing that you have to remember, guys. This won't be printed right away. Firstly, it'll iterate. I'll print this, and finally it doesn't find anything here, so it'll throw exception. Okay. Cool. So let us move on to the next question. So this is also an output based question. What will be the output of the following program? So here you can see main, public main, class main, and public static void main, just as usual. But here you can see there is something unusual. You might have come through, static methods or nested static classes, but what is this static with parenthesis and with some code between it? You might not have heard of it, but this is called a static block. Static block. So a quick definition of the static block is the block of the code which will be executed as soon as the class is loaded into the memory. So this would be the first block of code that would be executed as soon as the class is loaded inside the memory. So I have given you a hint. Now can you tell me what is the answer? If this is executed first, obviously 20 and a space will be printed. And next, after the class is loaded everything, this public static void main method will be executed, isn't it? So yeah, this is possible. And here t1.x, what is x here? This is 10. 20 space 10. This would be the right answer. So you have to be aware of the static keyword, guys. So static methods are there and nested static classes are there, and also static methods are there. So these the static keywords and all these things, all these keywords in Java has to be very familiar to you. Cool guys, I can see some correct answers. So good guys, you are doing pretty well. I hope this Josh is there when you go to the TCS exam also. Cool. So again, an output based question. Here, this is rather not so intimidating, but there is something you might not have seen before. So only this single line of the thing is there. What will be printed? So one more thing that so this is a escape sequence. This is called a new line character. New line character. So what is R? This escape sequence, if you ask, this is called a carriage return. Carriage return. So it's like earlier, if you guys have seen some old movies and all, we had what do you say, these typewriters, typesets, isn't it? So what used to happen is whenever I type a single line, I had to move the head of the typeset again to the beginning to go to the next line. Okay, this used to happen. So the same thing is used here. Whenever you encounter whenever you encounter /n, you'll go to the new line. But whenever you encounter this character, then your cursor will move to the beginning of the line. Okay, your cursor will move to the beginning of the line. Let me illustrate with an example over here. Say here you have system.out.print hello world. /n is there, hello, and new line world will be printed. So whenever this is whenever this code of line is executed, whenever this line is executed, then word healthy will be displayed. You can here this works on the same principle as I said. First hello healthy will be printed. This will be printed, and /r will make the cursor here. The cursor will be there here initially. /r will be encountered and it'll move to the beginning of the line. Cursor will move all the way to here, and this hello will be overwritten by world. So that is the reason world healthy will be printed. Okay guys, so here answer A, B is justified because A and B will be printed, and here will be the cursor will be blinking, and encounter /r. So it'll go to the beginning and it will override it. So here ABA is there. It will overwrite it, not overwrite it. AB and A will be printed, and again the cursor will move to the beginning. This time it has nothing, no other characters to be overwritten. So ABA will be the answer. So various escape sequence have also, you guys have to know about these things. I'll be as in the interviews. A few escape sequences, not all. /n is an important one, and /r and all these things. An important factor about /r is whenever you execute this block of code in Eclipse or any other IDEs or all these things, /r will be /r will be interpreted as a new line. This is a bug. Please remember this, that /r will be interpreted as a new line. But whenever you execute this piece of code in the command line, then the behavior of /r will be as we discussed right now. Nobody uses /r now, but it's an interview question, so you have to be aware of that. Okay guys, ABA, good. Some people have answered right. Okay, so let us come to the fill in the blanks type question. Dash is a process to identify the key aspects of an entity and hiding the rest. This might be one of the 4 pillars of polymorphism. I mean, not polymorphism, object-oriented programming. So you hide something and show all the necessary parts. Abstract certain things. What is the answer, guys? Can I get some quick response? So D is the right answer. Okay, so in abstraction, what you do is you hide all the complexities, from the programmer, and you just give a set of interfaces. That's it. An example is system.out.println. So this is the abstraction. If you have to do it manually, it will be very difficult. But since the abstraction is provided, you can do system.out.println and pass whatever you want to be printed. So that is it, abstraction. And you have to be aware of these 3 also: polymorphism, many forms, and inheritance that we saw in the previous question, and encapsulation, binding the data and code together, and making the binding the data and code together is one more important thing, that is encapsulation. Be aware of these things. So this is one more fill in the blanks question. Which function is used to show the key pressed by the user as it is typed on the screen? So, as soon as I type a key, that should appear on the screen. Which function is used to achieve this in C? So all of these might seem, kind of equal. You might be tempted to, choose randomly, but uh, it is not. One of the answer is correct, or are looking similar, but I can get some responses. Option is B. Get CHE. Okay. So here getters says nothing but it's a standard function. It is defined in stdio. It is used to get a string from the terminal from the standard input. See, this is actually a nonsense one. Actually, you have to know about it. Get gfetch or something. It is not all there. But a word about get ch and get che. These are defined in conio.h, console input output. So most of you might not know what is conio.h because we use it only while coding in the MS-DOS environment, the Turbo C compiler. So these are certain functions which are defined in the conio.h. Whereas this is a standard C program. These are not standard, but get test is standard. Okay, let us move on to the next question now. So a primary mission of an analyst or a system designer is to. So this is also an eliminate type of question. You guys eliminate what all the options which seems redundant, and you guys choose the right answer. Elimination based. So B, A. Okay, let us just see how do we eliminate. So option A. Let us go to option A. Extract the physical requirements of the users and convert them into software. Where this seems relevant, but this is done by a software engineer. And option B is development of software evaluation tool. Development of a software evaluation tool, it also seems someone like a software engineer or someone else might do. Create a data flow diagram. Data flow diagram is also important while designing high level applications. You have to know how the data flows. Let us also keep this. Calculate a return on investment. This is a business term, so this is eliminated. And first A and B are done by software engineers, not by analysts. So analyst, what does an analyst do? He or she will create a data flow diagram. Option C is the right answer. System designer. So here is also one more key, system designer. If you have to design a high level design of the system, you need to know where the data comes from and what you do with the data and how does the data be stored and everything. Right? Cool. Let's move on to the next question. So here is a linked list 2, 4, 6, 8. Obviously, this is the head. What would be the output of the below given snippet? There is a struct, and the struct we have an employee ID. This is the data, and here you have the pointer to the next, and you will iterate. You will assign the head to the temp, and you'll iterate it. So let's see. Let's see how do we solve it. So here I think almost everyone would have understood until here. We are doing nothing but initializing some variables. That's it. So while temp slash next is, firstly we'll have the temp here. This is not the head. This is the temp. Okay, this will be the temp. So here we have a temp next is not equal to null. Yes, that is true. So we'll print the employee ID, that is 2. We'll print 2. Okay, we'll go next. We'll go here. 4. We'll print 4 because the next is not null. So after this we'll move on in the while loop and move on to 6. We'll print 6 because the next of 6 is not null. But when we come to 8, the next of 8 is null. So it will not enter in the loop itself. Forget printing, it will not enter into the loop itself. So here 246 will be printed. So option B is the right answer. Yeah, super guys. All of you have given the right answer. Great, I appreciate it. So this is a very simple question. Which of the following loops is a post tested loop? Do while. So it's like do, and after we enter the loop, here we check whether the condition is right or not in here. So this is a post tested loop. Do while. Okay. So this is your computer networks. Which of these is not a topology? You might have studied this in your college, and also all these few things might be very similar, very familiar. But one of the things is, it seems on an odd one out. Which is that? Okay, option D. Option D is the right answer. It is not a topology. Circuit topology is not a topology. So here is one more common type of equation. Another common type of equation: the time complexity. Time complexity and space complexities are pretty important, for your placements in general, I would say. So which is the time complexity of the below code? A mistake, I showed the answer, but yeah, anyways, it is big O of n. It's a simple, it's a single loop, and when count increases, the time complexity also, like the number of loops also increases. It scales linearly. So there is a linear time complexity, big O of n. So you should also, while when an interviewer asks what is the time complexity, instead of saying big O of n, you should not only you should say big O of n, but also you should say what is n. N here is nothing but the count. Okay, n is nothing but the count. This you should be pretty aware of. The interviewer will be pleased if you say this. All right. Cool, guys. So we have come to an end. Of the, with respect to the programming questions, right? The MCQ questions and the fill in the blanks. We'll move on to the coding. Okay. So this is the first question. So you guys might know what is a Caesar cipher. So Caesar cipher is a type of a substitution cipher in which each alphabet or a plain text message is shifted by a number of places down the alphabet. Say for a shift of 1, P would be replaced by Q, Q would become R, and so on and so forth. So you in the cryptography, I think you guys might have studied or might not, because usually it comes in the final 2 semesters. So most of you if you haven't done the 8th semester until now, you obviously wouldn't know what is the Caesar cipher. But yeah, this is the Caesar cipher in a nutshell. Say there is something known as a key. Key is 3 means if an input A is given, A will be shifted to 3 places. That is B, C, D, E. Okay, 3 places, 1, 2, 3. So A will become E. Similarly, B will become E. C will become F. So that is how Caesar cipher works. And the other gist of the question is you have to here immediately you can see the input and output. All the best will be converted to this one. So here one more input is missing. The key is 1 here. Key is 1. So the next character of A is B, and the next character of L is M. Okay, I think this input and output should be will clarify what you have to do. With addition to that, they are also given that you have to replace the digits too. So if there is something as like say 8, 8 should become 9. If the given the key is 1, if the key is 2, 8 should become 0. Okay, so it will circle back. That is one more important thing. If the key is 2, then 8 will become 0. 8, 9, 0. All right. So one more important property here is, say an input, there is an input character called A, and the key is 26. So what would be the answer, guys? So the answer would be A itself, because 26, if it is shifted by 26, it'll again circle back to A itself. So this is one thing that you have to remember. So let's jump to the code right away. Okay guys, so this is the Python based code. One more thing in this section that I would like to tell you is, whenever we think of programming solutions, we think of C, C++, Java, Python, and all those things. I recommend you guys to think of the logic first. That how to solve a problem effectively is, first you have to think of the solution. You have to solve the problem and then write the code. It's like constructing a building. If you know how to construct a building, then you will be able to you can make use of the tools and everything, and you can then use those tools to construct a building. First you should know, you have the knowledge of how to solve the problem first. Language is secondary. So you might so algorithms and pseudocode and everything, you should write down as a pseudocode. You should write down the solution as a pseudocode and then code it as an actual solution. This is how you solve problems, especially the coding ones. If you follow this, you'll ace the coding questions for sure. So with that in mind, I have chosen Python here because it is very readable. Even if you guys don't know Python, it is very similar to regular English itself. So what you're doing is, here you're taking the text, that is some plain text or something, and then you're taking the key. Key is nothing but how many shifts that you have to make, and then you'll print the output written by the Caesar function. So here you have the Caesar, and we take text and the key as inputs. So what we do here is this one. Here we have a logic for the uppercase characters. This is the logic for the lowercase characters, and this is the logic for the digits. For one moment you might think that I'll make some space here. Let's consider A. The ASCII value of A is 65. Okay, and if you have to shift it by 1, what you can do is, we can shift it by 1 means, or we'll take key value as 2. Let the key be 2. So it will become so the key will become 66. So what is the ASCII? So what character does ASCII 66 stands for? It stands for B. So this solution is as simple as that. So A, key of 2. Sorry, this is not key of 2, isn't it? This will become 67, and that 67 will be C. So this is as simple as that. You have to play around with the ASCII, but there is a small catch to this. So what if you encounter Z? The ASCII value of Z is 90. Okay, and if the key is 2, you'll do 90 plus 2, 92. But the ASCII character of 92 is not a alphabet. It is some it is this actually, this one, the square brackets. But we want to circle back. Remember, I talked about the circling back. We have to do that, and the way we achieve this is this logic. So guys, one more heads up: if you don't know Python, ORD of a letter A will return the ASCII value, and CHR of say an ASCII value will return the actual character. ORD and CHR. These are two things that you should be aware of, just for the sake of the logic. As I told you, be sure that you'll know the logic first, and then you can solve the problem. You can solve any problem. First, the logic should be very, very clear. Okay. First, let's consider that the input is A. The input, say, yeah, this one. The text is A, and the key is say 2. And here you can see we'll get the ASCII value of A, ORD, and we'll add the key, as usual. And we do other things also. Why is this, if you ask? It is because of the the problem that we discussed right now. If we give something like Z or something, that will not circle back. We have to make that Z circle back to A. That is what we are doing here. So what we are doing is, we are adding the key and subtracting 65. 65 is nothing but the base value of the capital alphabet character. 65 stands for capital A, ASCII. So after we do that, we'll get the we'll get some value. And one more thing, as I told, if the if the key is 26, A will turn to A itself. Again, it'll circle back, and again. So that is the reason, if you have to limit it, you will make use of mod 26. Okay, this might be a bit tricky for you, but this logic is very, very important. and this is the easiest way that I can show. Python is the easiest way that I can describe it to you. So what you're doing is getting the ASCII value, adding the key, and we are doing minus 65. So let's take an example, okay? So let's take, say, Z, and let's take the key as 3. So what we'll do is the ASCII value of Z is 90, plus 3 is 93. 93, okay? 93 minus 65 will be 93 minus 65 will be 28. Okay, so it will be 28. So 28 mod 26. So 20. If we just shift it, it'll be extra work. So 28 mod 26 would be 2, isn't it? So we need to shift it by 2 characters. So this 2 is there. We add it to the base, that is 65, and we'll get 67. 65 plus 2 is equal to 67. So what is the as here 67 is nothing but it is C. So here you can see we got the answer as C. So here you can see with input as Z and the key as 3. After executing this block of code, Z became C. Without any circle back happened automatically thanks to help of the modulo. Modulo helps you limiting whatever is here. It will be below 26 itself. Okay, this is how modulo works. So make a mental note of this, and the same operations will be applied for the lowercase characters also, and also for digits. Digits, the modulo is 10 because you have to limit the digits to 0 to 9, and you'll add it to 48 so that it will stay in the range of the digits itself. Those things, and if it is a character like this, and keep it as it is, and if it is a space, keep it as it is. So this is the code. Guys, as I told already, be very sure about what the logic is. Coding is secondary, but solving the problem is primary. That you have to keep in mind. So okay, I hope that was clear to you. Caesar cipher. Let us move on to the next question now. So guys, this is an easy question when compared to the earlier Caesar cipher question. So here, if you read the question, we want to estimate the cost of painting a property. Interior wall painting costs rupees 18 per square feet, and exterior wall painting costs rupees 12 per square feet. Okay, this is the given data. Take the input as the number of interior walls, number of exterior walls, surface area of each interior wall in square feet, and the surface area of each exterior wall. If the user enters 0 in the number of walls, that is this, skip the surface area, as users might not want to paint that at all. So, and then you have to calculate the total cost. So this is the input here. This is the number of interior walls, 6. The number of exterior walls, that is 3. And there's a surface area of 6 means there are 6 interior walls. So here we have 6 interior walls, and these are the 3 exterior walls. So this is the square feet value, and for interior wall it costs 18 per square feet. And you have here you have 12.3 square feet of one wall, 15.2 square feet of other wall, 12.3 square feet of one more wall. So this would be if you are good with numbers, you can immediately tell that you can add everything, and you can multiply with 18. So that is what we're going to do, and you'll get total estimated cost as this. So let us dive into the code, guys. Let me just go into the code. Wallpainting.c. So this code is in C language. I just leave the code as it is to. So this is the code, guys. Let me explain what is happening here. So we'll get the number Ni and Ne are the number of interior walls and exterior walls. That is 3 and 6. We enter 3 and 6 over here, and we are declaring these as we are pre-declaring it because we know the cost of painting interior wall is 18 and exterior wall is 12. Okay, and we'll have a cost variable just 0. We'll add on to it. And if the number of if we enter negative numbers, then it is invalid. Or we also saw this thing. If the number of interior walls and exterior walls is 0, then obviously no need to do all the calculations and all. Directly we'll print that the estimated cost is 0. Otherwise, what we do is here we'll iterate through all the interior walls and we'll multiply. Firstly we'll iterate here 6 times. Okay. Ni is 6. If I just quickly move on to, so as you can see, the input value, I'll just highlight that so that you guys won't be confused. So this is Ni here and this is Ne. Ni is 6 and Ne is 3. After these, we have to take in these also from the standard input, which we will do it. Move on to the code. So Ni is 6, it'll loop 6 times, and each time it loops, it will get from the input that we saw the long list of the square meter, the size of the walls, isn't it? We'll input that and we'll multiply this with the cost. Okay, cost of per square feet. What is the cost and what is the total square feet? With that, we'll keep on adding on to the cost, and finally, at the end of this loop, we will get the cost of painting the interior wall. Similarly, we'll do for the exterior wall also. We'll take in all the inputs and we will then finally output it. Total estimated cost is so and so. Okay, guys, as we discussed here, take all of these, multiply it into these into 18 and multiply these into 12 and then add the solution. You will get this as the answer. So this is the logic. Okay. I hope the thing is clear now. So it is clear. Let's move on to the next question. So this question is tricky, but once you just read it again and again, and once you just understand the problem, it becomes incredibly easy. This question is very lengthy. That might be intimidating, but don't let the length intimidate you. Okay. So let's read the question. A city bus is a ring route bus which runs in circular fashion. That is, bus 1 starts from the source bus stop, halts again at each bus stop in its route, and at the end it reaches the source bus stop again. If there are n number of stops and the bus starts from stop 1, then at the nth bus stop, the next stop will be in the route of will be the bus stop number 1. Okay. That is once we go through all the bus stops, after the end bus stop, say this is the start and this is the end, we'll go to the beginning. The next bus stop will be the start itself, the circular fashion. Okay. So here one path connects two stops. Distance for all the paths in the ring route, this is the ring route, is given as the array path as below. So in the path they have given this array. So this array is nothing but distance between the first stop. This is nothing but the distance between two of the stops. So the fare determined based on the distance covered from source to destination. Stop as the distance between the input source and destination stops can be measured by looking at the value in the array path, and fare can be calculated in the following criteria. So this is the distance. These are the given distances, and this is the cost. So we have to calculate the cost over here. And as I told, this question is very intimidating. You have to read it again and again, but I'll make sure that you guys will understand for the sake of the session. Here you can see this path is in a circular fashion, and each index can be mapped with the value the same with the bus stops array, so and so. Okay, what they're telling here is this is the bus stops array, and the corresponding array that we saw earlier, that is the paths. Here this can be mapped to this. How? This will solve everything, guys. This will, if you have any doubts here, this will help you understand it. So here you can see THGAICHATELUNICA. These are the stops, bus stops, and 800 is the distance. This 800, before this 800, let's consider the 600. So what is 600? If you ask, 600 is the distance between TH and GA. Here that is why here we have 600. So if you ask what is 800, remember that we read in the question that it's a circular path, it's a ring fashion. So 800 is nothing but a distance between the last stop CA and TH. Okay, similarly 750 is nothing but 750 is corresponds to this IC stop. So this is nothing but distance between IC and the previous stop, 750. So this is nothing but the problem. And here what we have to do is we have to the input will look something like this. We have to input two bus stops, that is NI and HA. These are the bus stops actually. We have to input the start bus stop. This is the start and this is the end. Okay. So given the start and the end, that is here we have NI and this is TH. Sorry, not TH, that is HA. So given NA, this is start. You have to move to CA and then circle back, and then you have to end it here. So this is the route given, and we have to calculate that the cost for this route, and they have given that 1000 meters. If the distance covered is 1000 meters, then the fare is 5 rupees. Okay, let's see how we can solve this problem. So I have made that clear for you. So if Ni in the given input Ni to HA is 23 INR, that we saw it in the sample test case. So the total distance covered here is say 1500 Ni to C. Here we start from Ni, isn't it? From Ni we move to CA first, and the distance would be 1500. Okay. Then we move back to the first stop, that is TH. TH is nothing but 800. And then we move to GA, IC, and finally HA with covering these distances. The total distance is 4550. So if it is INR 5 for 1000 meters, it will be this per meter. Okay, then you multiply this with this, you will get 22.75, that is 23 INR. So this is how we got the in the sample input. This will be given by TCS itself. If you enter NI and HA, this should get the answer. So how did we arrive at this answer? This is how. So this is how we arrived at the answer. So this is nothing but the logic. Now we have to code that logic in our IDE. Okay guys, let that sink in for a while. Okay, cool. Again, I'll repeat you if this is not understandable. You will start here. Okay, you'll cover so much of distance, that is 1500. Okay, and you'll circle back. You will from here you will circle back and reach HA. You'll calculate all the distances involved, and then once you have the total distances, multiply it into 0.05 per meter. So this will get cancelled, and here is what you get. You'll get 22.75. You do the seal you have to do. That is also given the question. Seal of 22.75 is 23. With this, let's move on to the code right away. The solution is in Python because the solution is in C, then it will be very huge. So Python will be understandable. So our code starts from here, from the line 39. It'll take in the source, destination, that TH and HA, source and destination, and then we'll call the getFare function. GetFare function is this, input the source and destination. So this is what we are doing. We'll create a 2D array with two columns. This is a 2D array. The first column will be, filled with these things. I'm sorry, this is a row, not columns. 2 rows. and the first row will be nothing but the names of the cities, and the second row will be the names of the distance between that city, that particular corresponding city, and the previous city. Okay, this we created. This is the data structure that we created, and fare initially will be 0. So now, so let us see how to solve this. So imagine that we have to go from LU, so NI to CA. So the answer is simple. NI to CA. What is the distance? 1500. The answer is 1500. Okay. Imagine we have to go from TH to IC. So from TH to GA, if you have to go, you have to cover a distance of 600. Remember, guys, this is a TH to GA. You should not count 800 because 800 is a distance from CA to TH, from the last stop to the first stop. So if 600 is the distance from TH to GA, okay, 600 plus from GA to IC, what is the distance? 750. So 1350 will be the answer. Okay. So this is how you solve. What you can do is you can just you can start from here, and count. You can, if TH is given as the input, is a start, and TC is given, IC is given as end. You can count the distance of GA and IC, then you arrive at the answer. But here is one big thing in this here. This is an edge case. So what if we start from NI and circle back to HA? Then what we do? Okay. So here, before that, just these are just input validation. We'll validate whether the input is right or not. This you have to do. Okay. So here, so route of 0. What is route of 0? Route of 0 will be then, just I'll give a brief introduction on what is the route of 0. Route of 0 will be the names of the cities, and route of 0 dot index will give the corresponding index. Say route of 0 will give you this array, and route of 0 dot index will give you the corresponding index, and route of 1 will be this array. Okay, this array. So here, if route of 0 dot index, so route of 0 dot index is nothing but this array is index, and you'll pass in a source. Source is nothing but say let's say NI is the source. If this, so what is the value of this here? This, its value is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this whole expression will result in 6. Okay, that is the index of NI, and our destination is HA. And the same thing we are doing. What is the index of HA in the array? Index of HA is 0, 1, 2, 3. So this is 6 and this is 3. So 6 less than 3, no. So we'll move on to here. So this is normal. Okay. So how you do here is, here you can see we start from this index and move on to as I explained in this test case, this is straightforward. You can do this. But what about this? So what will you do here is, let's say NI. If I want to start with NI, then you have to calculate the distance between NI. Let's calculate. Firstly, you have to calculate distance between NI and CA. Okay, that is 1500. After that, what you have to do is you have to again circle back, isn't it? So what you will do is you will count the distance between TH and GA to IC and IC to HA. Then you will arrive at the solution. Okay, this is the first pass, and this is the second pass. So that is what you're doing here. Firstly, you will calculate a straightforward route, and this for statement, and not this. I'm sorry. So here, what you're doing is you're calculating the straightforward route. But what you're doing here is you are doing that circling back thing. Okay. So here we will calculate. You will do this. You'll calculate all the distance, and then what you do is you multiply that fare into 0.005 and do mat.ceil, that is a ceiling function, and you'll return it. Okay, this might feel complex for you, but whenever this feels complex or intimidating, just remember the logic is pretty simple. So this is the logic. It's a matter of coding. That's it. Once if you are familiar with the logic, you have the matter of coding. So just that's it. If you have to move from NI to CA, calculate the NI to CA distance, that is 1500. Then that is in the first pass, and then what you do is you start from the beginning. You start from the beginning, and you calculate distance in TH and GA and IC and HA. So if you add this distance and this distance, it is nothing but the whole circling in, isn't it? So that is this. That's another way of doing it. Okay, that is the only way of doing it in a very simple way. This is how you do it, and you multiply with the cost and you seal it. You do the mat.seal. Okay, so that is it, guys. So I hope you had a wonderful session. And if you haven't joined our Telegram channel yet, please follow this link and join our Telegram channel. The link for the Telegram channel will be in the description box, and it'll also be in the chat. Our moderator will put it in the chat. So please join this Telegram group for any upcoming updates about placements, TMQT sessions, and all. We'll have many more sessions like this, where we'll ask for feedbacks with your fellow batchmates, and then based on that feedbacks, we will have whole sessions for this, and you'll get an idea of how the questions are actually. So it'll be very beneficial to you. And I'd like to shout out thanks for your batchmates who were generous enough to give a feedback on how the test was. Okay, and I hope that the test will be very good for you also. So guys, thank you for being such a wonderful audience, guys. And here is a few things where you can stay in touch with Ethnus. So we have a Facebook page, we have an Instagram page too, and you can visit this website to take courses on placements and cloud computing, Java, and any other tech. Okay. If you have any feedbacks or any other queries with regards to our courses or our sessions or anything, feel free to write to us at our mail. You can also phone us, and WhatsApp is also available. So thank you, guys. I hope you had a very wonderful session again, and I wish you all the best for all you who haven't written the exam. I hope this session will help you in acing the TCS exam. For people who didn't do well, never mind. You have a whole year to you. I hope you'll have a much more wonderful placement sessions in the future also. And with this, this is Prashant signing off. So thank you, guys. Have a good day.